extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about how much irresponsible, one-sided news stories
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has
been extremely dangerous to our democracy.
What's going on? What's going on? All right, you know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. I'm your gracious host, A6. We are live and direct, live in effect. It is Sunday, and the weather was about in the 60s here. It wasn't too cold, too hot. It's it's trying to climb back up. Uh, Give me a second. Yeah, I hate when that happens. Annoying, but anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, so the weather wasn't really too harsh. It was one of those type of things where there we go. Yeah, it's one of those type of things where here in Maryland you get the first, second, and third spring, and then winter snaps back around. Crazy part is the sun was shining today and it was pretty clear, but it's supposed to be snowing again this coming week. So it's snowing or raining or something like that. So that might be the last hoorah from the winter, and then we should be rolling right over in the spring. Allergies are starting to kick me in the hind parts, so you can tell that the flowers are starting to blossom and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got the what is it? The catnip being planted in the garden. You know what I'm saying? That way when we get the veggies and stuff growing, we don't have to worry about those rabbits coming through and those gophers, man. I'm gonna tell you something. You plant your garden. Rabbits are cool, gophers are cool. They look cool when they're in the wild and all that stuff, man. But I'm gonna tell you, you plant in the garden, they're your worst enemies because they'll come tear your stuff up. Rabbits, they'll come through and they'll yank one of your carrots up and they'll chew half of it off, and then they'll yank another one up and chew the other half, you know what I'm saying? And they'll keep coming back and doing it. But you put some catnip in that garden, let me tell you something, it's gonna be a club. It's like a nightclub for cats. You're gonna come home and all the neighborhood cats is in your lawn or in your garden chilling. Everybody's stoned. You know what I mean? You got a group of like 5 cats laying around looking at each other like everything's all good. That's the true spot. Ain't no war in that spot, right? Even if cats is beefing, when they come to the catnip, like, hey, we can all get down type stuff, So that's what it is, though. But yeah, that's a real good hack. So we got that going. You know what I'm saying? That's a plus. But yeah, throw the strawberries up in the garden, man. Some of that lettuce in that bad boy. Might even do some corn again this year. You know, that kind of stuff. Make it happen. Nothing like fresh food from the soil. Oh, by the way, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's see who's in the chat. Who's in the chat? Who we got in the chat? Truth is here. What up? What up? Got my admin in the house. What's good? What's good? My man Zoc is in the house. What up? What up? Florida Republic here. Yes, indeed. King is in the house. What it is? Slim Shady up in here. Yep, yep, yep. My man Fred here as usual. What up, Cherokee? What's good? What's good? Even got Tony in the house, man. He took time off his studies to come join us. We are beyond thankful you've joined us, Tony. Appreciate you for coming through, boss. 100%. Alfonso up in here with the perfect attendance. Uh-oh. Where's Slacker Genius at? Where's Civic Maker? Yo, where he at, man? Uh-oh. I think you might have him. You might got him, man. Y'all was neck and neck, but I think you might have pulled ahead of him today. We'll see if he shows. Eric, what up? What's good? More Eric, can I get away with sending quote? Trolling. I'm gonna ignore that because it was kind of funny. I laughed, you know what I'm saying? But all right, trolls up in the house. And don't let the troll keep the trolling to a minimum because my I got two of my I got three of my admins in here and they will delete your comment and boot you. You know what I'm saying? So keep the trolling to a minimum because we out here to get busy. You feel me? Jay Black, what up? It was flurrying here. Word, okay, dang. Where you at? Yo, where you at, Black? Civic is okay. So we got Civic Maker in here. All right, yeah. Civic Maker wouldn't let you get away with that. He says, "Nah, man, you ain't taking my perfect attendance. I'm trying to build my perfect attendance back up. You ain't taking that away from me. What up? What up, Civic? Miss Small in the house. How you doing? How you doing, Miss Small? Study and read. Yes, yes, yes. Good stuff. So apparently, man, okay, my man's over Republican Iron. That's what's up. So apparently, there's supposed to be an eclipse coming April the 1st. Or no, April the 8th, I believe, right? Now we talked about here on this channel not too long ago how the true new year begins in spring. Like April 1st is actually the true new year. You know what I mean? Because it makes no sense for the new year to be when everything is still dead, all the plants and trees are still dead or not, growing you know, flowers, gardens, anything like that, leaves, none of that stuff. The greenery is basically gone. So it's very difficult for us to call it New Year in the wintertime. You know what I mean? So that's the Gregorian calendar's New Year, but the true New Year really starts April the 1st when you think about it, and it makes perfect sense as to why that is. So now we go back to that, and yo, the 8th, just a week into it, um, the 8th is supposed to be a blackout. They said it's supposed to be an eclipse. They're talking about stock up on canned goods, stock up on water and stuff like that. Have supplies and this, that, and the third. And they're saying, it could be a situation where you might be blacked out from phone lines or something of that nature for a little bit. Now, I haven't heard exactly how long it was supposed to be. The blackout was supposed to happen, but given by some of the stories I've read and by biblical prophecies, it's supposed to be 3 days of darkness. And by darkness can have many different meanings. Now, I don't know how it was translated from the original text, but darkness can actually physically be darkness where there's no sun, where certain parts of the area do not get sun for an extended period of time. Or it could have been a situation where nobody can talk to the nobody can reach each other. Everybody's just basically moving on their own or whoever's around them type deal. This is why I told y'all, I've been telling y'all for a while, get with your neighbors, anybody who's asking questions locally in your area. Y'all need to make sure y'all have a backup plan where to meet at if SHTF. You know what I'm saying? Just be very careful. I don't know what specifically the side effect is going to be from this. However, we've been talking about time and time again, the sun is supposed to be changing. And when that happens, it's supposed to be like a DNA upgrade. I tell you this, the pollen, even the pollen these days, and I had the theory that Jupiter ignited. I had the theory that Jupiter did ignite or had some kind of effect in 2020. If you remember, Jupiter was in perfect alignment, and I think Saturn could even be seen with the naked eye in certain areas of the United States of America. Now, the thing about Jupiter is Jupiter is a giant ball of gas. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you look at the way the Mayans predicted uh, the end of an era was supposed to be 2012, and from what we've talked about, the Gregorian calendar is off by a certain amount of years. Now, technically, from what they were saying, like, yo, 2012 was really 2020. You know what I'm saying? That's the end of an era. So when we're talking about the end of an era, the awakening starts to happen. We know what happened with the pandemic, kind of situation where people were starting to become aware of what was happening. Like, yo, y'all can't do this. Matter of fact, y'all can't do this, and y'all not even supposed to be doing what y'all was doing before y'all started doing this. Y'all have no right to do any of this stuff. People start reading and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, hey, all I'm gonna say is this: people starting to be more aware. People are starting to stand up and question things. We're starting to see a lot of policies and things of that nature get overturned. Supreme Court's been moving differently, and you might say, well, that one thing don't have nothing to do with the other. I kind of think everything's connected. From what I've seen, all things are connected by some degree. And we sit here and ask ourselves how bad these things got to this point where these people are able to ignore things, provisions like the Constitution, and still move forward with violating people's rights. You know what I'm saying? How did it get to this point? We ask that all the time. Like, yo, how is it that we go to fly on a plane, we gotta give away our Fourth Amendment and let them take our stuff and go through it? You know what I mean? And we talked about the death of from a thousand cuts. Constantly giving up rights here and there to the point where you don't even recognize the damn landscape anymore. And that's why I say all things are connected, because when people start to really wake up and ask questions, which is currently happening now, stuff we talk about on this channel was unheard of back in the day. I remember there was a stigma when I was younger. We was in we had a rap group, so I get to talking about, I was into the uh like the esoteric information when I was about, I want to say I might have been like 17 or 18. I was starting to really look into it, and I remember I had this one track, and I was recording it, and it was like, yo, every time I dropped like another couple lines or something like that and wanted to hear it back to make sure it was clear, the engineer was like, yo, might want to be careful with putting this out. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might want to be careful with putting this stuff out, because stuff happened to people to put information like this out. So I asked him, yo, what you mean, man? He said, yo, I mean, when people start talking about Illuminati, this, that, and the third, the all seeing eye, you know what I mean, the numbers, satanic, this, that, and the third, like, yo, people go missing, people mysteriously, go crazy and stuff like that. So I was like, it's one of them type of things where if it's the truth, it really needs to be put out there. He was like, yo, I can respect that, yo, but you just be careful. He's like, yo, but if you do want to do that, man, I got a whole lot of books I can give you can actually read that'll put you down on exactly what's going on. So, I was tapped in with him for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But yo, back in the day, people wasn't talking about this stuff like that publicly. Wasn't happening. Even before we had things like YouTube. You know what I mean? People wasn't really talking about information like this on a regular, because it was like taboo kinda, you know. It wasn't really many people that was trying to hear that type of stuff. But yo, if you really start to look at some of these channels that are really getting steam and start moving forward, man, it's people are more receptible to this information because of all the things that's happened over the past 4 years. I would say, like, yo, if you told somebody in 2012 or even 2004, yo, there's gonna be a pandemic. They're gonna tell everybody you gotta wear a mask. You're not gonna be able to go in buildings if you don't have a mask. If you don't have some jabs, you're not gonna be able to go inside buildings. You're not gonna be able to take your children to school. School's gonna be closed. They're gonna be doing learning from remote learning from home. You know what I'm saying? The government's gonna be giving all these people money for the free. Just fill out some paperwork. People gonna be doing fraud left and right for the PPP loans and all that stuff. It's if you would have really said that, nobody would have believed that, man. You take the average naysayer now that doesn't believe in none of this stuff we talk. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, yo, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all crazy, y'all conspiracy theorists. If you take that average dude and tell that same guy in 2004 what happened, what would happen in 2020, how it happened exactly, he wouldn't believe you. And that's what I'm saying. The landscape is changing. So I say all that to say this. With it might very well be a DNA upgrade coming on the 8th, man. It might be something we need to focus on. But I would recommend, again, get ready, get right, get your stuff complete. Start if you haven't started meditating already, definitely do that. Clean your diet way up. Get off the meat. You know what I'm saying? Get off the dead flesh. Get off of all that stuff. If you haven't yet, get back to your fruits and vegetables. Drink lots of water. Get some kind of exercise in, and also exercise your mind. These are all things you should already be doing. But if we want to really experience this boost of energy or possibly a DNA unlock, we got to make sure that we're receptive to it. You know what I mean? That type thing. It could be like situation with the sun. Let's say the sun changes or does something different. The radiation output could be completely different. The pollen. Let me tell you something. The pollen now after 2020 is substantially stronger. Like I remember one year, I think this was 2022. There was like a yellow mist in the air, and we talked about this last year too. That I remember that real thick mist that was in the air. Nobody knew what it was. Let's not get short memories, okay? We remember, and they said it was coming from Canada's wildfires or some stupid crap like that didn't make any freaking sense. And the sky was literally, you couldn't see nothing. Everything was solid yellow. Yo, let's put the pieces together, man. For real. Let's start to put the pieces together. When have you seen that before? Ever since we've been alive? When have we seen that before? To that magnitude where everything was a thick yellow. Now I remember pollen being thick, you know what I'm saying, but not to that degree. That was like, yo, you can't even see, down the street. You could just see a yellow mist. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to see an aberration or something like that, but you can't see details. Yeah. So let me catch up on these comments. I was serious, not trolling, whatever that means. Oh, okay. All right. Nothing's gonna happen. We aren't that lucky. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, Wesley. I mean, if you're looking for Goku to come out of the sky and start drop kicking people who ain't respecting, you know what I'm saying, the natural law and stuff like that, that's probably not gonna happen. It's gonna have to start on the inside, bro. Like it starts here, man. 100%. The more people that are on the same page, the more things turn around. Look at what's happening, yo. They just had a court case. When was this? I think a case got dismissed where a felon was caught with a quote unquote firearm. A felon was caught with a firearm, and the case got dismissed on the grounds of New York Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. Pay attention. You got to pay attention to stuff like this. A case just got dismissed. I don't know what. I think it might have been Ninth Circuit. I'm not sure. It was a federal court case though. It wasn't like a state court. It was a federal court case. It got dismissed. The lawyer said, yo, it would be unconstitutional to move forward to try to prosecute this man for exercising his right to bear arms under New York Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. And the judge dismissed the case. This is what I'm talking about. Imagine using this same debate, the Second Amendment, as a defense back in 1997. They would have been like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't care nothing about that. But yo, more and more people are starting to care about this stuff now. So it's getting to a point where they can't keep ignoring people's rights. That's how the Bruin case even got the Supreme Court in the first place. Listen, if you're looking for some spiritual magic thing to happen, I can't say what's going to happen, but that's probably not it. It's up to us, yo. We got to stop waiting for people to come save us. It's us. We got to save ourselves. We got ourselves into this mess. We got to get ourselves out with the knowledge. Start giving a damn about what the hell happens. You know what I mean? That's all it really takes. Like, listen, I remember I saw this one video online. I think it might have been on Instagram, but this bird was flying in place. And this was, I think, 2021. It was like, yo, the matrix is starting to glitch out because too many people are starting to pay attention to it, and the server starting to overload because too many people are in the same area. You know how you on a game or something like that, and too many people are in the same room or something, or too, like, let's say Grand Theft Auto, for instance, when it first came out, the cloud server kept crashing because there was too many people trying to play the game, so it kept having malfunctions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If the simulation theory serves us correct, what's to say that's not literally what's happening? Too many people are focusing on this particular thing, so it's starting to change. When people ain't focusing on it and they're concentrating on all other things and not focused on what matters in terms of, these public officials being held liable, people following the Constitution, adhering to their rights, having the people's best interest in heart instead over money, that type of thing, or their career choices and stuff like that. Those are the kinds of things that we need, basically. And they change when we start to pay attention to them. That's why I say, yo, it's really about us knowing what's going on and paying attention, speaking out, talking to people, you know? Imagine, listen, I'd have heard the most people I've ever heard in the indigenous community talking about voting for Trump. Let's go back to, let's go back to 2000 and what was it, 2016 when he first ran, I think it was. Let's go back to 2016, right? How many of us do you think legitimately would have voted for Trump in 2016 as opposed to now? Now that we see how many things are messed up underneath Biden. Let's be honest. We need to sit down and have a face-to-face with each other about this, because this is not something that's talked about very often. The Democratic Party. This is what Kanye West was talking to y'all about. Getting off the Democratic plantation. It's like an abusive relationship type deal. Zoc says, is that why it's called April Fools? Because they're fooling us. That's what I think. A lot of other people say the same thing too. Because y'all some fools to believe that New Year starts on in wintertime. Christians would make fun of pagans that celebrated New Year on April 1st. we call them fools. Hey, do you, man? But I'm gonna say something to you, all right? And I'm not gonna judge anybody for believing in something as long as it ain't hurt nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna check this out though. Any religion that tells you to not ask questions, you need to be very careful. And that's where I'm gonna leave it at with that. If your religion tells you to call somebody else a fool and not even ask or think about exactly why they're doing what they're doing, just blindly say he's a fool, don't listen to him. You know what I'm saying? You should probably be careful with that. And I'm gonna leave it there because I ain't getting on nobody's religion. Clowned on the non-believer. There you go. Case in point. The first eclipse is on my birthday. This one matches my address. I'm square in the path of both. Nice. They were talking when people wasn't listening. It's a banned book. I can't put the title here, but they were speaking on all this in the 60s. Yo, please send me that book. You got my email, Lawrence. If you want to send that to me real fast, I would be glad to look into it. DNA doesn't upgrade. I mean, listen, if that's what you believe, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to still throw it out there because you don't know for sure. You have no idea. You don't know. You don't. You don't know. You're not 100% sure. We're not, let's be honest, none of us are 100% sure what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But we will say this, though. Something different than we've been taught before is definitely happening. If you can't feel it, there's something blocking your perception. You might want to concentrate on fixing that. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Do you study exercise? Oh, here we go. All right, so Wesley, so are you trolling? Let's be honest. Are you a troll, Wesley? I thought you was on the same wavelength, but are you a troll? When anybody get up here and start talking about science and stuff like that after 2020, we're looking at you sideways. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging you, but we looking at you with the side eye because them same people were saying, "Yo, trust the science." Trust the science. Take the jab. Take the jab. Touch the side. Put the mask on. Where's your mask? You can put a mask on made of goddamn pantyhose material over your face. As long as you got something to assuage my nervousness. It doesn't have to scientifically do anything, quote unquote, or scientifically do anything. It just needs to make me feel safer about standing next to you, even though one microscopic little bit of saliva could fly through the mask and get in your mouth. But as long as you're wearing something, you know what I'm saying, that's scientifically viable. Right. Gotcha. What's up, base? American Nationals, the Republic, taught base level. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Last Canada. All right, yo. I'm not going to tell people to listen unless he starts trying. He's good to have a different opinion. I got no problem with people having different opinions. Okay, on this channel. This is not an echo chamber per se. Just don't start trolling. Don't start trolling because my admins will boot you. Don't start trolling. Hey, 2020 was crazy too, right? I'm sure you can agree with that. 222, yes indeed. Like when you travel too fast in a video game, it slows down. The reality servers are being overworked. I follow science, man. Go ahead, man. Follow your science, then, bro. Keep listening to these mofo's. Keep listening to the Fauci dudes and all the dudes that basically told you that when you get in the hospital for some flu-like symptoms, who your immune system has been strong enough to fight off a flu by itself for a long time, but go to a hospital and put you on a respirator and somehow you get unalived. Those same doctors and scientists that listen to them, you know what I mean? Keep rocking out with them guys. And we're going to stick over here on the side of truth. But you're welcome to watch 100%. Federal politics is just entertainment or distraction. Local politics screw you over way more. Yo, that's also true, man. That is 1,000. I agree with that 1,000%. And we talked about that too. Yo, get involved with your community, man. What's your community talking about? Start going to the meetings. They hold these meetings while we're at work purposely, so we can't get to them and we can't drop our opinions on people. You know what I'm saying? That's what we really need to be doing. Getting involved, man. Talking to people, seeing how people are thinking, that type of thing. Seventh month. Democratic plantation. Yep, 100%. Octagon has 8 sides, 8 months. Ah, I see where you're coming from. Okay. November Nova is 9. The decibel system has 10. December is the 10th month. Okay. Interesting. I never noticed that. Politics, religion, I take no part in. I've escaped both paradigms. I feel you. I feel you. Maybe your DNA. Good point. Good point, Cherokee. Hey, look, that's a whole other conversation. Because not all DNA, he might be right. Not all DNA upgrades, but we already know, you know what I'm saying? Certain individuals have different DNA than other individuals. We're not all the same when it comes to DNA. You know what I mean? I was thinking the same thing. I wanted to tell you had to Mons remove him. He's giving troll vibes. He's giving troll vibes, but it doesn't become an issue for me until he starts to like be petty, like start calling people names and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not. It hasn't gotten to that point. I got no problem with somebody having a different opinion because I don't want everybody in here doesn't have to be on the same page, but as long as you're not hindering, what we're talking about or slowing down the passing of information, then it becomes an issue. Believe me, I got about 4 admins in here, and they'll boot them. They got science, safe and effective. Not necessarily. Depends on where they're born at. Oh man, what up? What up? What up? What up? At Wesley, do the damn fool, ignore. Trust the silence. Exactly. Trust the silence. I like that. Trust the silence. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, speaking of silence, man, did y'all hear what happened to the dude that tried to step out against the Boeing company? Oh, we're gonna get into that. I got the article right here. We're gonna get into that once I catch up on these comments. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome, welcome. It's cool. Like I said, man, you good, fam. You good, Joe. Like you ain't done nothing wild. You saying stuff we don't agree with, but we don't always have to agree with everything, right? I mean, that's the name of us having free thinking. We don't always have to agree with every single topic. As long as we ain't on some stupid stuff. Like if I started calling you names and stuff like that, disrespecting you for no damn reason when you just got a difference of opinion, all right, that's not right, and you haven't done that to me either. So I give you the same respect. You can disagree, that's fine. I got no issue with that. But welcome, man. Welcome. 100%. He about to get it. Frog Dog says, hello, fam. I do fluent. Not one customer asked me to wear a mask. I never missed a day. Oh, not one positive That's cool. Yo, it was horse crap. All right, it was horse crap. Red October, what up? I haven't seen you in a minute. Science equals facts. They told you to follow the science because nobody reads. Nobody reads, bro. I probably read the most in 2020 because I had so much downtime that I have ever read. I had a lot of downtime in 2020. Like that's how I got like I finished the book the Redemption Manual 4.5. I read creditors in their bonds. Like I was really getting into the information really heavy back then. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. I didn't know all this was happening. You know, trust the science is the most unscientific thing you can say. Yeah, that's not really how science works, too. Like science is not just trust the science and don't speak out against it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and case in point, yo, if science is so powerful and all knowing, yo, why isn't there a specific explanation for gravity yet? Why isn't quote unquote gravity, the theory of gravity, why hasn't that been fully explained? Why isn't it one of those things that they can actually break down and tell you exactly what's going on with it? It's because it's still a theory. You know what I'm saying? And everything starts as a theory. That's why when people say, yo, conspiracy theorists, like, yo, everything was a theory. The fact that, well, not even the fact, but the opinion that the earth was round and spinning or something like that was a theory at one point until they thought they had enough evidence to be able to prove that. You know what I mean? Anything is a theory in the beginning, but that's how things become facts when they start off as a theory and then you come up with evidence to back that theory. Solid evidence or deceptive evidence. My mom said this doesn't match what I was taught in nursing school. She was taught science. There you go. There you go. And listen, on the flip side, I also have nurses that say, yeah, every people are dying. People need to take the shots. I haven't called anyone a fool, but I'm called a fool. I didn't call you a fool. I didn't say that. I don't know who called you a fool. Maybe I did see that. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I'm not gonna tell somebody not to like. You know what I mean? Let's just be respectful. Let's put it that way. Let's be respectful. Let's be respectful to each other. Hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you. So back to the month thing. 9/11 was really 7/11. Building 7 and the Twin Tower. Wow, that's crazy. Yo broke it down to numbers. That is interesting. Said 2 off, right? If you're so against science, why use the items it produces? They gonna pull your card on the science. Listen. Anybody who says these things now, it's almost like you automatically get discredited in this community because we're a community of people who actually think. Like when somebody says something that tells us something or things we've been taught for a long time, we double back. We double back and we start researching back forward to make sure the answer that's presented is the answer we come up with when we draw our own conclusions. And usually, from what we've seen so far, the answer is usually not the same answer we were told it was. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing with the birth certificate, the bonds, the Federal Reserve notes. You know what I'm saying? The trust accounts, the Sister K constructive trust, stuff like that. All of these things are things like, yo, we were wondering how the system really worked, and the Federal Reserve played into it, and the Treasury. We were wondering how it all happened, but yo, then we go to figure out, yo, the way this works is completely done by signatures, bonds, notes, things like that. It ain't necessarily based on what we thought it was, gold and silver. We were all told there's gold and silver in Fort Knox. You can't get in Fort Knox. This, that, and the third. I still stand on it to this day. Yo, the greatest secret about Fort Knox is that it's empty. Yo, I stand on that to this day. That's what they don't want you to know. Because then you start asking, wait a minute, hold on, there's nothing in there. What? So what the hell are we doing here then? Now you asking, now they got the sheep answering questions. And that's a problem. They can't have the sheep answering questions, asking questions rather. We have to agree on something to progress forward. We agree that there's something wrong. I think if you're on this channel watching, we agree something's not right. And I think that's a great place to start. Now, as to what it is, we can go on and on and on about that, but we agree something's wrong, something ain't right, and that's why you're here. They go black people. Hey, is there any Florida Republic nationals I connect with A6? I need the Telegram invite. Hit my email. I'll send it to you when I get off. I got you. Which gravity? Newton's or Einstein's? Right. We are not agreeing on science. They scientifically thought that we were monkeys. That's another thing too. That's a whole nother thing. Like, yo, nah, man. Here we go. The gravity is not a theory. The origin cause is. Here we go. I'm trying to go somewhere else with this conversation. We going a whole nother way. So I'm gonna just go ahead and drop it right there. And we're gonna get over to this video I wanted to show you guys because we're about to get pulled in a whole nother direction. Hold on. Let me reel it back in. All right. All right, let's do this. All right, so Boeing whistleblower John Barrett found dead in U.S. And this was 6 days ago. So this is the gentleman who was actually putting out there that Boeing had some shady practices going on with their parts. You know what I'm saying? Which could have opened up a whole nother. Listen, there's so many different ways this particular conversation could have went. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways that this could have went if this actually really, really, really got out there like that to the point where the average sheeple start asking questions. You know what I'm saying? A former Boeing employee known for raising concerns about the firm's production standards has been found dead in the U.S. John Barrett worked for Boeing more than 30 years before retiring in 2017. So that's your expert witness right there. All right. That's it. Remember, we talked about the expert witness in the trial. Somebody who worked 30 years for Boeing would constitute as an expert witness if they could go to court. In the days before his death, he had been giving evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company. There you go. Boeing said it was saddened to hear of Mr. Barnett's passing. Jeez, ruthless. The Charleston County coroner confirmed his death to BBC on Monday. It said the 62-year-old had died from self-inflicted wound on March 9th, and police were investigating. Mr. Barnett had worked for the U.S. plane giant for 3 decades until his retirement in 2017 on health grounds. From 2010, From 2010, he was employed as a quality manager at the North Charleston plant. The facility builds the 787 Dreamliner, the state-of-the-art airliner used mainly on long-haul routes. Now, peep this out, right? Long-haul routes. What are long-haul routes? I tell you what a long-haul route is. Remember that plane that crashed over top of that island and they never found the people that supposedly disappeared, or the many planes that disappeared without a trace that are supposed to have interesting or persons of interest, quote unquote, on them? You know what I'm saying? We could talk about different ones. Those are long haul routes. In 2019, Mr. Barnett told the BBC that under pressure, workers had been deliberately fitting substandard parts to aircrafts on the production line. Oh no! Don't say that. Jeez. Hey, yo. That is a bold. That dude. Hey, look. If anything, I respect his bravery because that is a $1 trillion company. Damn. He also said he had uncovered serious problems with the oxygen systems, which could mean 1 in 4 breathing masks would not work in an emergency. He said soon after starting work in South Carolina, he had become concerned that the push to get new aircrafts built meant the assembly process was rushed and safety was compromised. Something the company denied. Again, you got an expert witness on the bench saying this. A jury will be swayed because the jury knows that these corporations take shortcuts all the time when it comes to safety. The people know. They know. You think this would turn out in favor of Boeing? No. He later told, and then we looking at possible criminal charges too, negligence. You know what I'm saying? Wanton endangerment. What? He later told the BBC that workers had failed to follow procedures intended to track components through the factory, allowing defective components to go missing. He said in some cases, substandard parts had even been removed from the scrap bins and fitted to planes that were being built to prevent delays on the production line. He also claims that the tests on emergency oxygen systems due to be fitted to the 787 showed failure rate of 25%, meaning that 1 in 4 could fail to deploy in a real life emergency. Jeez. Mr. Barnett said he had alerted the managers to his concerns, but no action had been taken. They probably marked him right there. As soon as he said something, they probably put his name in some file or something like that. I guarantee you. The moment you say something, they're going to ignore you, but they heard you. Oh, they heard you loud and clear. Boeing denied his assertions. However, a 2017 review by the U.S. regulator, the Federal Aviation Administration, did uphold some of Mr. Barnett's concerns. It established that the location of at least 53 non-confirming parts in the factory was unknown and that they were considered lost. That don't even make sense for real. How the hell do you lose airplane parts? What? How does that even make sense? Boeing was ordered to take remedial action. On the oxygen cylinder issue, the company said that in 2017 it had identified some oxygen bottles received from the supplier that were not deploying properly, but it denied that any of them were actually fitted on aircraft. After returning, he embarked on a long-running legal action against the company. He accused it of denigrating his character and hampering his career because of the issues he pointed out, charges rejected by Boeing. At the time of his death, Mr. Barnett had been in Charleston for legal interviews linked to that case. Last week, he gave a formal deposition in which he was questioned by Boeing's lawyers before being cross-examined by his own counsel. He had been due to undergo further questioning on Saturday. When he did not appear, inquiries were made at his hotel. He subsequently found dead in his truck in a hotel car park. Speaking to the BBC, his lawyer described his death as tragic. His lawyer was in on it. I'd be willing to bet some money on that. In a statement, Boeing said, "We are saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing, and our thoughts are with his family and friends." And they thinking about his family and friends, all right? It was like, you going, yo, you got two choices, all right? Your family and friends or you. Take your pick. Man, so if you want to read more into the article, it's only a little bit left that I haven't read yet. If you want to read more into it, you absolutely can. But let me tell you something, yo. When you inside, right, and you getting that good old money from that company that you try to throw under the bus, you taking that paycheck. And what he probably saw after he said something, he probably saw a paycheck increase. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably saw like another $800, $850, $1,000, maybe even $2,000 in his paycheck. He might have saw a paycheck increase. You know what I'm saying? As a type of thing where it's like, all right, you need to be quiet, okay? That type of thing. He might have saw that first. Like, yo, why is my paycheck an extra $2,000? Oh no, it's good. It wasn't an undersight. You've been doing exemplary work lately. Give him incentive to stay and shut up. That type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Extra money inside his paycheck. Stay with the company. You get that money with the company. You hang with the company and stuff like that. And then you go try to get on them afterwards. You go try to throw them under the bus afterwards. They got you. When you're on the inside, you are the most dangerous if you ever don't be on the inside anymore. That's why all of us who talk stuff from the outside, they can just call us conspiracy theorists and dismiss us. But somebody who was on the inside, you can't do that because this man was there for 30 years. You're not gonna call him a conspiracy theorist. And that's why the only difference between a whistleblower and a conspiracy theorist is somebody who was on the inside. That's the only difference. The information is the same. It's the same info. It's just were you on the inside or were you not on the inside? That's it. That really is the only thing. Man, y'all been calm. I'm behind. All right. I'm a Floridian but stuck in Ohio. Boeing is dirty. Oh, listen, man. Any of these large companies that are really out there like that, man, they got some secrets. You see what's happening to Vince McMahon? Vince McMahon's getting dragged through the dust, and he ain't even got as much money as Boeing does. Boeing is probably way richer than Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? They probably don't even have a limit on how much funds they have access to. But you see what's happening to Vince? These people, they've been moving real shady, and stuff is starting to gradually come out to the light. It's coming out. I get offended when people misrepresent science. Again, we ain't got to agree on everything, Chief. Fact or theory, U.S. being captured by Bolsheviks along with Kremlin, Vatican, Queen. We're not even on that topic right now, Immortal, but I know the Queen was in charge for a while, but she's dead now. I don't know how it works with the king or whatever the hell. I don't pay attention to them over there, honestly. But I would say because like some of these United States codes were actually, I think it's actually published by Britain, right, or something like that. Some of the United States codes, or maybe it's the Uniform Commercial Code. One of them. The employees that assemble these aircraft say they wouldn't fly in Boeing. Yep, there you go. You know what I'm saying? The people who made the jab wouldn't allow their family or a lot of their employees to take the jab. What does that tell you? Right. Me either, bruh. I ain't on the inside though, so I'm good. Yep, can't speak 100%. Got him out of there. But listen, this is why I say, they say there's an old ancient proverb: if you lay with dogs, you're gonna get fleas. I mean, yeah, he got on the inside, he was taking the money, but now you want to go try to do the right thing, after you can't get another job, and it's like, you was in bed with these guys. There's got to be some kind of law on that or something like that. You know what I mean? There has to be some kind of code on that, some kind of you know, reality type of code. There's different codes in this reality. Some things that you do might come back to you, that type of thing. Simple principles that rule this reality. I wonder if it's one where if somebody's doing dirt with somebody and they come snitch later on, and they get got, if they that avoids the person from receiving universal karmic debt. I wonder if that's got something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because the way these people move is strategic. They don't just do things. They have a lot of knowledge, occult knowledge that we don't have. So sometimes when they do stuff and we think, that's messed up, like, their method might be crazy, you know what I'm saying? But there is a reason behind it. And I wonder if that's how they escape karmic debt. Just curious. Dead man tell no secrets, right? How do y'all fit in there? So time you talking about the planes? Them planes are small as hell. My knees be on my chin. I'll be like, I can't do this. Planes is little. Yes, indeed. We in the house. You already know. Malaysia 370. That's the one I was talking about. Malaysia 370. Yep. The people know that make the parts. Yeah, they know. And they not going to say nothing either because they know what's going to happen to them. You be wondering why some of these judges and stuff like that, they don't rule the right way, or in the past when they didn't rule the right way, they know somebody's got a right to bear arms and they try to throw them in jail or something like that. Why these judges aren't, because they afraid, they scared. Yusuf, I was talking about the affidavit of Walker Todd too. And they had the judge that was on that case who ruled that the bank didn't loan the guy any money for the mortgage. And then that judge was found face down in a river like 3 days, 3 days later or something like that. And then they overturned the case. The judge literally said, y'all didn't loan him any money. He don't owe y'all anything. He got the house free and clear. Then they went ahead and did an appeal, overturned that, and they got rid of the judge. People afraid. They scared. Again, when you in the inside and you try to do something like that, when you've been doing dirt all this time and you try to flip it, you know what I mean? It don't work like that. That's the only thing I can think of. Yep, he was a mark man after saying too much. Yep, that's how it works. The moment he said something, the moment he said that, he probably got a paycheck increase, or maybe he got promoted the next week or something like that to a whole nother tax bracket. You know what I mean? And they just marked him on a list like, yo, watch this guy, yo. Keep an eye on him. They got the money for it. Why not? The scientific method is great. The problem is it isn't science or anti-science. The problem is honesty. Don't let them program. Okay. That's one way to look at it. Is saying too much worse than saying what you're told to do? That's a good question, yo. To me, like, listen, if he was there for 30 freaking years, all right, let's not forget that fact. My man was there at Boeing for 30 years. You're not gonna tell me he was there for 30 years and he didn't see nothing sideways in the first 5 or 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Now they got certain compartmentalization, you know what I mean, with certain people in certain compartments, like, yo, this guy paints the wings and then presses this button and they get taken to another side of the building. This guy puts these things, straps or something like that on the wings, and this guy presses the button and goes somewhere else. But yo, if you work in there for 10 years, you're going to see some sideways stuff. Now, whether you stick around or don't is on you. Me personally, if I would have saw something like that, I don't think there's any way I could be able to sleep. I don't think I could, yo. Like, yo, you are literally assisting people, you know what I mean, in their peril at that point. I couldn't do that, yo. That's the same thing for a mechanic that works on planes. I could never be a freaking plane mechanic, man. Hell no. What? Nah, bruh. I don't think humans should be fixing planes at all. That should be a robot's job, yo. Because humans are imperfect. If you don't put a bolt somewhere where it's supposed to be at on a plane, you know, if you're working on cars or something like that, your car might make a noise when you step on the brake. You gotta pull it in and see what the hell happened. You know, maybe a bolt broke or something like that. That plane is not coming back. Once that part is not on that plane properly, that plane is not coming back. The only thing they'll see is the last time it was serviced and what crew was working on it at the time. But it'll be so many goddamn pieces they won't know what the hell happened, and that's crazy to me, man. That always bothered me. Like, yo, how the hell do those mechanics that work on planes sleep at night? That was worried. Fuck no, I couldn't do that. I say I couldn't do that, man. I care about my fellow man too much. Well, also proof anybody could be a conspiracy theorist if they don't have proof. Usually, the reason why things are called theories is because the proof or quote unquote proof has been hidden. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you said, it wouldn't be a theory if it wasn't no proof. That is a fact. But a lot of times the proof is not going to be discoverable. The only things that are there are, you know what I'm saying, like point A and point C. Now you know there's a B in the middle, and some people are like, "How you don't have any proof that there's a B in the middle?" Like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. It's like that. That's the kind of thing it is. Once you have proof, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you work on the inside, but truth be told, if you are inside the spot, your word, if you've been there for 30 years, your word is the proof because you've been inside. You know that's what I'm saying. If you've been inside, your word is the proof. Codes are from Canada. Word. They saw the code. Okay. The FBI told me Wednesday if I keep doing cases that they will. Jeez. Damn. Shit. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, that is crazy. 33rd degree secret. There you go. Y'all already know what's up. His lawyer's in on it. He got paid. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. It's a brotherhood, yo. That's what we'll be talking about all the time. Boeing, Vanguard, BlackRock. Yup. Now we talking about the heavy hitters right now. Judge has no power. Yep. Administrators. Had a judge make a ruling contrary to the law without a valid oath. They threw him a party and retired him. Yep. Unfortunately, that's how it works, man. Yo, everybody should be smashing the like button. I'd rather drive. I work on plane parts. I make them like my family is going to be on them. See, that takes a tremendous amount of focus. Tremendous amount. I commend you, bruh. You get my salute for that. I salute you on that, man. Because let me tell you something. That takes a tremendous amount of focus to be able to do something like that. Technically, if you think aliens exist, you are a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you think anything I don't even think it's that simple. If you think anything contrary to what the news tells you, you're a theorist. You're a conspiracy theorist. That's what they say. Oh, okay. I mean, good luck, man. Do you? Wesley, why you talking? Hey, look, that ain't us. That's on him. Let him rock out. Let him rock out. All right, let me go ahead and move on to the next topic. But yeah, man, you can't be in bed with these people and then turn coat on them. They ain't having that. All right, so look, I always tell you guys the pen is mightier than the sword. All right. I tell you guys when you're out here moving around, you need to make sure you fully comprehend what's happening. The agents that are being put out here on a lower level are usually new. They don't know a whole lot. They may have been, traffic cops or something like that for a little bit. They haven't been educated on any constitutional law. They're given some procedures and then they're thrown out there. What blew me away is when I had I talked to an established lawyer. And this guy told me, I started telling him about right to travel cases and stuff like that, Supreme Court case rulings. He was one of the people that didn't believe me when I told him that the New York Rifle and Pistol Association case was about to take a turn for the best when it comes for the 2A. They thought I was crazy. He thought I was crazy, and a few other people thought I was crazy. I was like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. I said, all right, watch what I tell you. Lo and behold, about a year later, they was like, yo, he was right. And this guy's a lawyer, established lawyer too, does well for himself. So it blew me away when he told me when I was telling him a lot of these cases. He's like, yo, I never learned any of this stuff. How the hell didn't I learn any of this stuff in law school? Like, oh, we learned on procedures in law school, what motions to file, how to build an argument, how to write up an argument, stuff like that, how to use certain law to back an argument. It's mainly about arguments based. That's what lawyers do, and motions and things to file, procedure, all those kinds of things back and forth. So they learn that stuff inside out, but they don't actually learn a whole lot of actual law. Some of them will go learn some constitutional law, but they won't really get in depth. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I tell y'all, when y'all dealing with these mofos on the street, the pen is mightier than the sword. And I wish I had a chance to tell this guy that, because this guy got himself in some trouble. Man accused of shooting an MPD officer during a traffic stop appears to be a SC. I'm not going to say that word. All right. Let's get into it. Let's play the video. By the way, this is fair use, protected by the Fair Use Act.
I'm not qualification or artificial verdict created a 14th Amendment. Naturally, as a man, like Yahweh, subject to natural law. Okay. Let the record show that.
That's the man accused of shooting a Memphis police officer, making his first court appearance today. Geronimo Key's unusual answer came to Judge Christian Johnson, asking if Key can post his $175,000 bond.
Now, take a look right there over top of the judge's head. Do y'all see that sign right there? Can you see it at the bottom? It says commerce right at the bottom. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. There we go. Agriculture and commerce. It's right above the judge's head. It's right there in the open. So he just literally said all crimes are commercial, such and such and such. I'm a living man, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff that we know, we don't say that shit because that shit is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? He did put that stuff on record, but it's irrelevant. But check it out. It says commerce right there. All right.
Or if he planned to hire an attorney. Now, based on Key's answer, as you just heard, the judge ordered a mental evaluation. But experts tell Fox 13 that the language Key used falls in line with that of sovereign citizens movement. Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon is live from Crump Station. Kayla, there's also other evidence that suggests that Key could be a sovereign citizen.
Yeah, Daryl, we found out in the affidavit from over the weekend that this all started when Geronimo Key was pulled over for speeding. And when Lieutenant Bobby Johnson attempted to come and tell him about the traffic citation, tried to get him to sign that citation, Key refused. And after Johnson broke Key's window, that's when Key fired at least 4 shots at Johnson. Now, law experts I spoke to today say this could make prosecuting this case more difficult.
There's not like a...
Now, people, I want y'all to listen to what she said. She said it could make the case more difficult. The reason they said that is because they're not supposed to break in your window. They're not, so they know, and they know they're not supposed to do that. They know they're not supposed to break in your window.
A specific group that calls themselves sovereign citizens.
But the language people who claim to be sovereign citizens use is much like what we heard from 22-year-old Geronimo Key in court on Monday.
So now they told me without against my will. Naturally, as a man, like Yahweh, subject to natural law.
Stephen Galoob, a visiting law professor at the University of Memphis, says it matches what he's heard.
I'm a natural person. Has to do with the idea that that corporations are artificial people and that commercial regulations only apply to corporations and they don't apply to natural people.
According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, sovereign citizens believe they are not under the jurisdiction of the federal government.
So people, they always reach out to the Southern Poverty Law Center. That is the giant or the Goliaths, kind of like the intermediate, because a lot of people don't even know about sheep, don't even know what this stuff means. So they're kind of like the intermediate that say, oh yeah, these people are crazy. You know, we're experts on this. These people are crazy. I have no idea what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But let's not be mistaken. And Yusuf El covered this a while ago. You know, the juice run that. You know, the juice are 100% in control with that, and you know, the media as well. All the juice, they are in control of this stuff. So they spin the narrative the way they can in order to keep moving the way they're moving. There's also a video that was online where a guy was basically revealing people's nationalities who were in government. Watch it yourself, because I got to watch my language on here.
And consider themselves exempt from the U.S. law.
Interestingly enough, they played what he just said, and I never noticed they zoomed in on commerce. So you have to watch what these people are doing. They're telling you what he said is actually factual, because he was saying all crimes are commercial, and it literally says right there, agriculture and commerce, something seal of Shelby County, Tennessee. So they're literally telling you, was like subtly, it's going to be harder to prosecute this case, meaning the police officer was in the wrong. And they're basically saying that this guy's not necessarily lying because it is technically commerce. Says it right there.
Former West Memphis Police Chief Bob Potter is all too familiar with sovereign citizens. Back in 2010, his son and another officer were shot and killed by two men identified as sovereign citizens.
Sovereigns are dangerous, and not all of them are, but they're not marked, so we can't tell which ones are dangerous or which ones are not.
In Potter's case, the two men were later killed, so there was no prosecution. But Galoob and Potter both say the criminal proceedings, which could include a trial, could be more difficult.
Chaos and turmoil in the courtroom, and it's designed by the sovereigns.
The fact that this person might believe, for whatever reason, that the criminal system doesn't apply to them, they're wrong.
Now, the judge did order a mental evaluation for Key, and his bond was initially set at $175,000. But we found out today the DA's office will be taking action to try to see if they could go ahead and increase that amount. Daryl.
That's Fox 13's Kayla Solomon live.
So it sounds like the judge is going to be, not the judge, but the prosecutor district, or what is it? The district attorney, I believe, right? Or not? Is it federal? It might be federal. District attorney or something like that. Whoever's basically state's attorney or whatever's prosecuting the case is going to do a motion to raise bond, to which they said they don't know if he'll have a lawyer or not. I know Taquan X he didn't necessarily pop a police officer, but he did get caught with an arm, which was on his channel, and he basically had to do a Ferretta hearing and stuff like that, and they tried to raise bond for him. Now, interesting part about it is, if this dude, and I'm not, listen, before I go any more than this, man, this is not legal advice. I don't give legal advice. The only thing I'm doing is talking about information. I'm giving you my opinion. I have no legal standing whatsoever. If you want legal advice, you need to go get yourself a lawyer or something, because I don't do all that crap. But I just give my opinion on stuff. So with this particular situation, the tricky part is, he was trying to get him to sign the ticket. And this is why people ask me, yo, what if they, first off, out here in Maryland, you ain't got to sign the ticket no more. They did away with that. Because I think people started to figure out, like, yo, we're just going to write without prejudice or UCC 1308 on the ticket and write void on the side of that. You know what I'm saying? Keep the yellow copy basically, and then do with that as we will. And a lot of cases get thrown out because they can't move forward with the ticket in that particular scenario, obviously because of what was written on the ticket. See, this dude decided to not sign a ticket, and sometimes it works. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you'll get that overzealous police officer that don't know anything but procedure. He don't know the Constitution. He don't know any of that stuff, and he just decides that he wants to touch it. He wants to touch you. You know what I'm saying? He wants to put hands on you, and the window's in the way, so they'll smash the damn window. You know what I'm saying? A pen is mightier than the sword. This guy's lucky he survived that. You know, you got different people who will say different things. We saw the one guy get pulled over and tell the police officer, we're going to have a gunfight on the side of the road. And police officers back down. Yo, that could have went left. The moment he said that, you know what I'm saying? He could have got lit up. And they would have figured out a way to justify it. Yo. That's why I say y'all need to make sure y'all be careful. Y'all going to be out here traveling and stuff. And listen, when it comes to the private plates, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When it comes to the private plates, I'm with Floyd on this one. Get rid of them private plates. All right. I'm gonna say this from my experience. If you just starting off and you want to test your hand at the private plates, up to you. I personally don't like those particular plates. I suggest you look at the statutes wherever you live, because the statutes will tell you how to do right to travel, so you don't get bothered or harassed. Legit. I talked about this on my Patreon. By the way, if you're not on a Patreon, y'all need to get on the Patreon. Hit me up, and I'll give you the Patreon. Join the Telegram group. I'm gonna drop the Patreon link after this. It's only $5 a month. I broke that down, how to do it, how to be 100% sound with it. You know what I'm saying? How to be good money, all of that stuff. I already covered that. All right. So yeah. So there's ways to do it without having to deal with that. You know, trust is an interesting thing. We talked about the trust before. The DOT plates too is another thing you could do. You go right down to Fearless Floyd's channel. Shout out to Fearless Floyd. Also, Bad Wolf also had he covered the plates as well. The DOT plates. You can get those. You know, put your DOT number on there also, and you can do it that way. There's ways to do it so you don't get harassed like that. And even if you do get harassed, you have to know how to contract intelligently. And even if they do try to steamroll you with the case and move forward, you have to know how to stand up in court. You can't just like, yo, listen, the passport is dead. Okay. People keep hitting me up about the passport, yo. The passport is toast. It don't work no more. It doesn't work anymore because there are too many people out there doing stupid stuff. You got people flying up the road 150 miles an hour and want to get a police officer a passport. I've heard stories about that. I've heard stories about people selling crack and giving the FBI a passport when they giving them a passport when the FBI are in your house looking for crack. Give them a passport. They're supposed to let you go. The passport's toast. It don't work no more. It is not the end all be all. Okay, it's done. It's toast. So if you write the traveling and you think giving them a passport is gonna get you off, you're done. You're toast. If you don't have any knowledge of any laws of the Constitution that can protect your rights, and you just out there giving up a passport thinking it's going to be do not stop, do not detain, lifetime concealed carry weapons permit, it is toast. It don't work no more. All right. It was fire when it lasted, but it does not work anymore. Okay. Your best bet is going to be addressing the contracts with these people that you started. You can still use the passport, but don't think that's going to be the end all be all. Okay. You might just have to fight. You might have to go to court, and you might have to stand on business. You might have to take them to federal court and sue them for harassing you. It's possible. But yo, the passport is not the end all be all. That is done. Again, it was nice while it lasted. It was great. I remember I was in Laurel and I gave that police officer my passport. The stop took 5 minutes. We was done. And they pulled away fast as hell. Like they didn't want to be near me after that. It was lovely. All right. The technology changes. As the technology changes, as we start to catch on, they start to adjust their method. When we move, they move. Shout out to Bad Wolf for that. When we move, they move. We figure out a way to move around. They figure out a way to catch us up. They change or tweak a few statutes so that they can do things this way. And if you're still doing it this way, you'll get ran over. You know what I mean? Move smart when y'all doing this stuff. Another thing you can also do if you don't want to deal with it at all, you can just put your automobile in a trust and you can still go to the DMV and just get plates under the trust if you don't want to deal with it. If you still want to remove your straw man from the whole situation and still ride around with your plates and all that stuff and your insurance, you can still do so. You just got to go get your information. You know what I'm saying? Go get your information, your trust information and all that stuff. But yo, just be very careful when y'all here moving around because yo, these people are starting to catch on to what's happening. Now, I don't know what kind of ID this guy gave the cop. I don't know, what he told the police officer. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he had private plates though. And that's another thing too. You flying up the road speeding, yo, knock that shit off, man. We supposed to conduct ourselves like responsible men and women. We supposed to conduct ourselves like the people. We're not supposed to be flying up the road doing 120 miles an hour. For one, that endangers everybody around your safety. If there's nobody there, and let's say you got a clear road at 3 a.m, there's nobody on the highway, and you doing 120, what the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? But if not, yo, please be careful. Or don't be doing that goofy shit. I'm gonna get people complaining and mad at me and stuff like that. I don't care. As you do this stuff, you start to learn a little more. You need to be very careful how you're moving because, again, and this is another point Felix Floyd brought up. You got these people that came in this country illegally moving around and they starting to do all kinds of wild shit. And we're not really trying to get caught up with them. You know what I'm saying? So we got to move intelligently. Don't be belligerent. You know what I'm saying? If the police officer wants you to sign it, just go autograph the goddamn ticket, but do it properly. Wesley up here trolling again. I had to scroll back up. What are you talking about? Yeah, here it is, Lawrence. Commerce biggest day, and this dude really said he doesn't know what he's talking about. Of course. But listen, they can't. We talked about that earlier. They can't say certain. They know what's going on. They have meetings about this stuff. You think before this guy got in court, they didn't have a meeting? Listen, all right. Have y'all ever been? Y'all should just go to court. For those of you who don't have court experience, it's free to just go to court one day and just sit in the benches and just watch everything happen. Before cases, attorneys will walk up to the motherfucking judge, okay, behind the damn bench, turn that static shit on. That's what they do here in Maryland. It's the whole courtroom can't hear nothing. Static. The two attorneys walk up and talk to the judge privately. I'm like, yo, hold on, man. This looks like conspiracy to me. Why the hell is the two attorney? And if you got an attorney and that attorney has the state's attorney is trying to prosecute you and your attorney, they both go up to the judge and they're talking without you being there. Like, yo, hold on, yo. I'm supposed to be paying you for service. Why are you talking without me being present? What is so secretive that I can't hear? Why am I not up there next to you? If it's not a secret, why can't I be standing up there next to y'all while y'all are talking? If I'm in the one if it's my freedom on the line, why can't I stand right there? I've even had a situation happen where I was basically standing in for the Inslee just as an authorized representative, and the goddamn lawyer walked up and talked to the judge. Like, hold on, yo, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff I be talking about. That's what my attorney said when he quit. He labeled me a sovereign citizen in front of a judge. Oh yeah, that's deprivation. Or what is that? That's a defamation, rather. That's defamation. Unnatural citizen. He tried. Wesley trying to get me hung up. Hate back is no joke. Thanks for this grindstone. Good work. Thank you, Sage. Appreciate it. We got 42 heads in here. Okay. Y'all in here heavy. I screenshot that. What you screenshot? West playing around. They almost always mention SC when you use their legal words, codes, statutes, and policies against them. Of course, because what else can they say? What else can they had to make up a term and don't none of them. I can't find the definition of that name anywhere in this book, which is crazy because They create a whole different term which doesn't even have a meaning. It's not even a word that they're willing to tell us what it means. But I don't see that in here anywhere. And if you have a new Black's Law Dictionary that has that in it, please send it to me because I would love to see what it says. But for some reason, I can't find that word or that label. I can't find it. I see sovereign people. I see sovereign. So yeah, it should be between sovereign people and sovereign because sovereign C word is before the P, but it's not in here. So what is that? What is that? What is that? What does that mean? And I'm legitimately wondering what that means. What does it mean? Because I want to know, what does it mean? What does that label mean? Is it somebody who knows their rights? Is it somebody who don't want to get shafted by the system? Is it somebody who decides to read and don't want you to pull the wool over their eyes? Is it somebody that doesn't want to waive their rights? Is it somebody that doesn't want to just acquiesce? Is it somebody that wants to follow Christ? Is it somebody that wants to follow the Most High? Whatever. What exactly does that mean? If somebody wants to follow a law, exercising their right to freedom of religion, what does it mean? It don't mean nothing, yo. You can't get a definition. They have no duty to protect, so nobody is a citizen. You absolutely, that is, and then you know what's interesting? That's why she said this will make it harder to prosecute because natural law says you have the right to protect yourself and your property. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's going to be hard to prosecute. And check this out. What jury do you think, after hearing the details of that case, if he stands on business and he has to go to trial, which I hope not, because trials are the jury trials a dog and pony show. But what do you think would necessarily be the response to an individual who's listening to this on the jury? Like, I broke his window because he wouldn't sign a ticket. How many people have refused to sign a damn ticket, didn't want to sign a ticket, and felt like they were forced to sign a ticket? And who would agree that was the right course of action? You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking ticket. Jesus, it's not. Nobody's hurt. Ain't nobody bleeding. It's a goddamn. It's commerce. You trying to extort this man over commerce type shit. And again, I don't condone his actions. I don't agree with his actions. You know what I'm saying? At all. I don't tell anybody to move like that. Again, if you want to fight these mofos, the best way to do it is with this motherfucker right here. That's gonna be the best way to fight these dudes. Proceed. Impropriate persona. You never have to sign tickets. Nah, like I said, listen. Listen, all right. Take your lumps. They want to try to fuck you over. Okay, cool. You want to break my window? Okay, all right. You broke my window. Damn, that's crazy. Yank you out and put you in cuffs, throw you in a cell. Oh, damn, I'm in a cell now? Shit. Tow your car? Oh, shit. Now we got an accessory. Man. Damn. Shit. Now you get out, you got a court date. Oh, man, I got a court date. That's crazy. Let me go over to federal court real quick. Now the tow truck guy that got involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Now the tow truck company LLC is liable or corporation is liable. And you know what I'm saying? And the individual and business, you can sue them in their individual and business capacity, really. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to use the LLC excuse, but if it's conspiracy to deprive of rights, that LLC shit ain't gonna protect you. You know what I'm saying? If you think you moving crack or something like that, and you got an LLC as a front, you think your LLC veil is gonna protect you? Fuck no. Your ass is going to jail, goofy. Nah, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it is, though. By 100%, I agree with that. But in some circumstances, again, just move smarter, yo. Sign it the right way. Listen closely, knock it off. Under duress, never sign. Yeah, some people don't sign. Like here in Maryland, you ain't even got to sign them joints no more. They just give you a printed out copy and give you a force you to come to court and shit. You know what I'm saying? They force you to mail fraud because they send you a summons and they never even certified that's where you at. They never even sent certified mail. Like, listen, I think I talked about this when I was in nah, maybe I didn't. Maybe I'll talk about that this Sunday. This Tuesday. I might talk about that on my Patreon, my experience when I went to court and got the case dropped. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that on Patreon. I'm not gonna put that on the public. If you want to hear about that, you're gonna have to join the Patreon, my brothers and sisters. Fighting in court, not with the policy officers. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? Because you got avenues. You have recourse. You have recourse. People be saying they got qualified immunity, they won't be held responsible. If you sue the police station or the police company, yeah, they gonna have that qualified immunity. You just gotta know how to sue them. You trying to sue them in their official capacity, they got qualified immunity, unless they do something drastic, which that is kind of drastic. Not signing anything. Word. The VC only sign of audibly threatened. Be collectors. Yep, that's true. That's true. That's another thing for the record. And listen, body cam. It looks excellent on body cam footage. If you're talking to the jury already, like for the record, jury, my rights to such and such are being ignored. I'm being threatened with arrest. So under threat, duress, and coercion, I'll step out the car, jury. Like, you're talking to the jury on this body cam. You know what I'm saying? That looks horrible on their behalf. That looks really bad. And he'll probably say something like, yeah, whatever, no jury. Fuck the jury. He'll probably say some shit like that. Oh, that's going to look really bad. Or say something stupid out of his mouth. US DOT plates. That's what I'm saying. It's different ways you can move. I told everyone it wasn't worth it. Yeah, 100%. He's right. It took us a minute to learn, but he's more experienced in it than a lot of us were, though. Because let me tell you something. This dude was out there doing it for a long time before us. But some people got to learn fire is hot. They got to actually feel that shit hot in order to know what's up. DOT plates. Yep. The DOT plates is definitely the way. Private DOT. That's the way people are moving now. But check this out. When too many people catch on to that, what do you think is going to happen to that too? I mean, Jared in the house. What up, Jared? We got admins deep in here. Don't act up unless you have your MCO. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. Even if you got the MCO, bruh, a lot of these dudes don't know what's going on. They don't know what's happening, bro. They let me tell you how stringent the police hiring process is. I know people who applied to become a police officer that were very physically capable and very intelligent. That's the problem. They didn't make it. And I'm not saying that all police officers are dumbasses or nothing like that, but the compensity to want to ask questions. You got to be like, yeah, all right, well, he said do it like this, so I'm going to just do it like this type deal. It's got to be, that's why the military dudes are so perfect for police officers, because they just follow orders. They don't question. They're trained in the military. Do not question your orders. When you're given orders by a superior officer, you follow them. You don't answer no questions or ask no questions. That type of thing. That's what I'm saying. He's not even giving people the right status for passport like they was. Yeah, I heard that. But I don't think it's that simple, bro. I think it's just the system change. I think it's the system changed up. They won't run the passports and traffic stops, but you can get it run at the station to verify your passport process. Somebody said, I think you said that last week too. Yeah, they won't run them though. They're not gonna run the passport number to traffic stops because they already know that trick. They've been educated on this probably by their sergeant. And when you get body cam footage, they certain I swear, like certain conversations, if they don't mute the body cam footage, they might have like a little thing that they text in the police chief up here or like their lieutenant on the top of the roof where the body cam can't see it, but they texting them up here how to proceed. You know what I'm saying? Like you see his hands not in the frame. They might be talking to the chief about some information they don't want to be on the body cam footage because that's conspiring again, and that would look bad in front of a jury. But I don't think anybody's willingly going into a police station. I show proof that a passport isn't needed. It's all about handling the contract. Yeah, some people use like an affidavit of identity too. There's different ways. Yeah, there is different ways to do it. The passport is not necessarily needed. You never know. I have a 4-star. I don't have a 5-star. I have a 4-star. The 4 and 5 are supposed to be the best ones. Yes, Bad Wolf is always a good source for this information. 100%. Resignation of registered receiver of service process. Then see how hard it is to get you in court. Make your Secretary of State the receiver of process. Interesting. That is interesting. Never thought about that. That's interesting though. I had the DOT plates. Okay, that's what it is. Don't get Black's Law after 7th edition because they got rid of a lot. Oh, let me tell you something. They're going to do that. You already know. They added a lot after 3, and they started removing stuff after 6. I got 6. I didn't get anything after 6. And somebody they had determined to be some sort. Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, where does it say that at? Because a lot of times these people be in court saying that. Like, yo, what are you saying? What language are you speaking? Because I don't see that anywhere. And why would somebody be a threat for upholding the Constitution? The same thing these very people took an oath to uphold. Why would somebody be a threat trying to protect their rights? I thought that's what we were supposed to do as Americans. The whole entire spirit of America. Think about how, and we're not talking about Turtle Island, any of that stuff. Let's literally talk about how the USA basically was formed. Like, yo, let's talk about how these people were fighting Britain. They wanted to get away from goddamn Britain. They were getting their asses whipped by the South. And they had all these damn convicts coming over from Britain. And these people came to Britain to fight the Southerners. You know what I'm saying? Whole time they throwing goddamn tea in the ocean and stuff like that, throwing tea in the bay because they don't want tax on tea. You know what I mean? Because the British are trying to tax their tea. Isn't that the spirit? I mean, that's like literally the spirit of America, man. That's to be American is basically to stand up to tyranny. You got so many people just bending over and just taking it. A sovereign citizen is an opinion when used to label someone's character or action, thus making a judge or attorney a witness to the case, i.e., character witness, motion to disqualify them, fire. Yo, matter of fact, bro, let me go ahead and man, consultant be dropping that heat, man. There we go. Fire. Write that down, yo. Sovereign is free and citizen is a slave. I don't argue with them. Just get them to give an opinion or get mad at them. Then I disqualify them on grounds of not being impartial. They can at that point start booby trapping your property. Yeah, you know what's crazy? I seen a dude tell a judge to recuse himself because the judge got agitated that he was challenging jurisdiction and told him, you know what, I'm gonna assign you to 30 days in the county jail. You come turn yourself in by 6 o'clock tonight. I remember I saw that was on Yusuf L's channel. Yeah, he would not recuse himself because he was being he got agitated about something. Maybe it was the guy. I think it was the guy's tone because the guy was kind of being like kind of arrogant. You know what I'm saying? The judge got a little pissed off and threw a hissy fit. LLC moving. A ticket is 100% a contract. Yes. Any particular way to fill it out? There's plenty of ways. There's so many people covered how to fill it out online. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm telling you, it don't matter anymore. Yep. Police agents in the Matrix. Yep. I filled it out normally. You can designate a number of vehicles, type, and size, but I made sure to put agent after my name. Okay. Supreme Court passed a law saying police can deny employment because you're too smart. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, yo, and I know the crazy thing is I know a guy that's a police officer I believe he has intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Because I talked to this dude a lot. And I believe he has intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of sometimes wonder how the fuck he got on the police force. You know, Mason and everything. But yeah, he's very, very, very sharp. But I'm like, how the fuck did they hire you? Yo, you kind of sharp. But you know what it is? Dude is wild aggressive though. You know, dude is wild aggressive. Like, he's one of them dudes to put hands on mofos. So by law, your Secretary of State is supposed to be the registered receiver of service for residents for your state organization. So tag your it under the Powers Appointment Act. Through your deputy notary are now appointed to send and receive all service or process for this organization as a foreign organization. And so he got the secure party down to a T. What's the Patreon? I got shoot, man. Let me do this then. Hold on. Let me see if I can drop it in here for you guys. Here it is. I got it right here. What the hell? There we go. Trying to highlight the damn link thing, giving me all kinds of problems. There we go. All right, I got it. Took a minute. All right, here's the link in the page to the Patreon. It's also in the description too, if you guys didn't see it. But that's the link right there in the chat. So if you want to get on, you can do that. 4 stars on the book, 3 on the card. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Deputy Notary are now appointed. Send and receive all service process. Would you recommend creating your own travel documents rather than doing the passport process just to travel out the country? I mean, you can, but like, yo, it's tricky because depending on who you get, you might mess around and get stuck out the country. That's me being honest with you. Like, I got the world citizen passport, but I never really tried to use it yet. You know what I'm saying? I need to try to use it though, but I have it. You just stormtroopers. Or shouldn't you go with this app as an affidavit instead of a motion? I mean, yeah, you can do a declaration. Absolutely, a declaration. Have you ever seen this class action case about old fact list? Nah, I haven't, George. I ain't heard from George in a while. What's up, George? If you got that information, send it to my my email. I should have a lot of emails by the time I get off here because y'all got some fire. A motion is asking the judge potentially determine self is incapable. Good luck with that. Facts. You don't even have to be that smart. They won't let you be a cop if you have an IQ over 110. Damn. What up, hip hop? What's good? I didn't know it was 110. My autistic cousin is a police is a police officer, Zach, the puzzle type. Dude be forgetting to handcuff people. Damn. You said the puzzle type. Wow. I received a letter pertaining to OFAC list saying that I was in a list as a terrorist and a narcotics trafficker. What the hell? Yo, send me that, man. Is there a way I can put a letter in the chat? No, you can't put it in the chat. You have to send it to my email. No doubt, no doubt. But yeah, man, that's interesting. Are we creeping on 140? Let me see. Do I have anything else? Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, we got to talk about this right here. And we might end up going over because I gotta share y'all at least 3 more things. We're gonna have to go over. We're gonna have to break the this is gonna be a longer show tonight. All right, take a look at this right here. Police increasingly using Colorado DMV facial recognition program. Sheesh. What in the China? Records obtained by 9 News show an increase in the number of police requests to try and find suspects using artificial intelligence with the DMV photos. Rewind this.
Thanks to cameras at a Denver gun shop, a man was caught walking out with boxes of guns and ammo. And thanks to the driver's license camera at Colorado's DMV, federal investigators got a lead on a suspect, now identified in court documents as Brian Enriquez. Investigators plugged in gun shop images into the DMV's facial recognition program. The technology has been a tool for Colorado police.
I would say that facial recognition of all of the biometric technologies has come light years.
David Shipley is the director of the Colorado Information Sharing Consortium. His law enforcement group runs its own facial recognition photo database separate from the DMV, made up of photos like mugshots. He cannot speak directly to how police use the DMV for facial recognition, but says police typically do not rely on the technology to make their whole case.
That it's not the end-all be-all, nor is it the answer. It is simply a lead.
Records we've obtained from the Colorado DMV show police are using it more to try and find suspects. The state would not provide data for each calendar year, but in classic government fashion gave us numbers per fiscal year. 4 years ago, police used it 42 times. This past year, 157. Do you think there's enough guidelines right now or guardrails in line right now to protect the public when it comes to this technology and the use by law enforcement?
Well, I think the short answer is no.
State Senator Chris Hansen sponsored a facial recognition bill in 2022 that puts some limits on law enforcement's use of the technology. Agencies must have written policies and training guidelines before using it. He says a state task force is currently looking at how police keep records.
But we want to make sure that we don't have too much surveillance or inappropriate use of the technology. And so that's where we'll continue to work with the task force.
Anaya Robinson with the ACLU in Colorado sits on that task force.
I don't think that the transparency is there. And I think that the regulations that we do currently have in place, it's questionable as to whether or not law enforcement agencies are currently following that.
And out of the 465 times police agencies have tapped into the DMV database since 2019, only about a third of the time did they get a possible match. So the tech is not 100% accurate.
Yeah, it's not only not 100% accurate, what you talked about is how it's being used, I think, is what most people are concerned about.
Yeah, it's how it's being used. And according to state law, investigators cannot rely their entire case just based on one match. It's only a lead. It's a starting point.
All right, Jeremy, thanks.
All right. So this is insane. But we already knew it was coming. Man, I tell you, and sometimes it sucks being one of those people who are labeled a conspiracy theorist because, we haven't taken an L. Man, when's the last time we took an L? When is the last time we took an L when we've been wrong about something? I don't remember, I don't remember when the last time we took an L was, man. Because, every time we say something's gonna happen, I'm almost starting to wonder if because we're saying it and our mind is so powerful, we're influencing the matrix to do this. Because, every time we say something, it comes to light. That's the crazy part about it. And, for me, it's like this. Check this out, man. I got a problem with this because the information is already being used incorrectly now. They're trying to use driver's license for express consent now. And it clearly says in the United States Code, which the DMV and motor vehicle and all of that stuff derives from that code itself, basically saying that they can regulate motor vehicles and things of that nature. Like a center that regulates motor vehicles is formerly called the DMV or your motor vehicle station or whatever. But this is a situation where the information that's there is being misused now. How many times have you heard police officers ask people for driver's licenses when one, they weren't even behind the wheel? We're not even discussing traveling. Let's talk about just regular stops by police officers where they're demanding name or some kind of identification. You know what I'm saying? And there's no crime. Like I've watched plenty of First Amendment auditors standing in the lobby holding a camera inside of maybe even a court building or something like that, filming the inside of the court building. Police come up to them like, "You got ID on you?" "Yeah, I got it, but I'm not giving it to you. You got it. When a police officer asks you for your ID, you got to give it to me." Like, first off, bro, you know what I'm saying? What you don't understand is just because I have an ID doesn't mean I have to give it to you. And then on top of that, if I haven't committed a crime, you have no right to be asking me for any goddamn thing. This is not a situation where you can just go up to people and request their personal information. That is personal information. And you are a public official. Why the hell am I giving you anything in terms of that? Unless a crime has been committed or suspicion of committing a crime. But nah, again, they're not educated enough to know that they're not supposed to even be asking you for that information in certain circumstances. You know what I mean? Now, for the asshole that stole the damn arms and the box of ammo, fuck that guy. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to steal any goddamn way. So that's on him. But as far as the problem with another problem with the DMV is, again, like my man said, transparency. Like, you ask them to send you certain records and stuff like that. They don't want to give it to you. You ask the DMV for a copy of the contract that you signed to get a driver's license. They don't want to give it to you. You can't even take a form. They don't even like you taking forms out of the DMV. Usually, they're like, "Oh, we don't usually let people take forms." What kind of so I'm gonna give you biometric data and stuff like that, and you don't even want to be clear with me about exactly what's going on now without the data? I'm good, man. Yeah, this is the issue people have, man. But like, yo, this is again, information is gold in this era. Information is 100% gold. It's more important. I say information right now is more important than anything because everything is digital. Databases and all of that stuff is digital. It's all data, all information collections. The hell? God, give me a second. I think I kicked the damn cord. Hold on. Oops. Definitely did. Technical difficulties, folks. The light went out. Give me 1 second. Let me get this straight. My bad. Yeah, I accidentally kicked the damn cord. All right. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah. So like, there's already not transparency now, and clearly you can understand why people have some reservations about this technology, bruh. Like you can look at how the technology is being used in China. Like, yo, why is it so information for you to have it? So important for you to have information about people's faces in in your database? You know what I'm saying? Information where they can just like run somebody's face, and find out what their license number is and all that crazy stuff like that. And check this out: even if you don't have a license, we know how they are about not wanting to remove information for from their database. So if it's a situation where they're not even trying to get rid of information in the first goddamn place, you're gonna have a super issue. You know, that's the crazy part. Cameras every damn way. Everywhere you go on a highway is cameras. This is the problem. The infrastructure is already there. It's been there for a long time too. And this guy, I told y'all about that one guy who had the shirt. I think we might have watched that video 2 years ago, but he had a shirt, and the shirt had like a lot of different. It was like a painting with different faces on it. And when he stood in front of one of those facial recognition cameras, it went haywire. It started to like put the red box on different inanimate objects in the background, but it wouldn't get his face. But it tried to identify the faces on the shirt, and then it just went haywire to the point where every time he got in front of the camera, it couldn't read his face. You know what I mean? Said, where's Big Brother with the red, black, green flag? Oh, you talking about I know you talking about Victor, what is his name? Victor Vaughn, is that what his name was? Not Victor Vaughn. Yeah, I think it was Victor Von Doom or something like that. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen him in a long time, man. I haven't seen him since last year, actually. I hope he's okay. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a long time. Hope everything's good with him. People come and go. Yeah, we up tonight, man. We're gonna go a little long tonight. I gotta get through some of this information. Welcome to the United States of China. Listen, bro, I ain't want to believe it, but yeah, China owns a lot of stocks and shares in the U.S. Man, that's why this technology is so forefront because they basically taking lessons from them. The majority of the technology and stuff they got was from China. They have a bunch of cameras when you get your driver's license now. They be taking your pictures in real life. Yeah, man. Yo, it ain't like when we was younger, bro. Back when I was 18. Matter of fact, I wasn't even 18. I was like 17 or I might have been 17 when I got my L's. But yeah, I got the my provisional driver's license, I think when I was 17. And yo, you go in the joint and I remember I was excited as I don't know. I was like, yo, I'm gonna take my driver's test today. Took the driver's test and passed the joint. I was like, yeah, boy, I'm about to be free out here, man. Bruh. To be young and ignorant. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. But yeah, there's cameras. There's so many damn cameras now. Minority Report warned us. They tried to tell us what was coming. Yep. Thank you for tuning in, man. Absolutely. If you feel like ever so kind, feel free to donate to the Cash App. It's right at the bottom. Not saying you got to, but it's always appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Minority Report. Yeah. Traveling on a horse. But you know what's crazy, Cherokee? You can't even travel on a horse without getting harassed. Because I showed y'all a video of the guy, the Chicago guy, that has a horse that was traveling on the damn street, and they still harassed that man. Still harassed him. People say, "Oh, you can travel on foot, but you can't travel in a motor vehicle if it, because it has a VIN number, and the VIN number is federal. Therefore, it is their jurisdiction. It is technically their property." Like, all right, cool. Let me get a horse. Ride my horse down the street. Where? Why you riding the horse? What the fuck? I didn't see people on foot traveling get harassed. It's not. Listen, the mode of travel was never the problem. The mode of travel is not the issue, yo. It's lack of knowledge about the Constitution and freedom. That is the crux of the problem. When we start getting to the crux of the problem, the mode of travel is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. People have been talking about it not being a thing. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Thanks. I'll take a look at it, George. Public servant, get me a Dr. Pepper. That training that personal identifying information is a huge deal. When it comes to yours, you're supposed to just give it up. Right. And check this out. If it's not such a good idea, next time you get crappy service inside one of them government buildings, try getting that mofo's last name. I bet you they won't give it to you. And don't say they're trained not to give you their names, because I've literally gotten first and last names from public officials when they do a good job. Because me, like I told y'all, if they do a good job, I'm a report it to the higher ups. If I get good service from them, I'm gonna tell their higher ups they did a good job. If I get shitty service, I'm gonna tell their higher ups they did a shitty job. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put out is what you get. They'll give you their last name when you want to give them positive feedback all day. They'll make sure you spell it right and everything. It's an E on the end of it. Make sure you put the E on there, the second. Yeah. But when they do something crappy and they don't want to help you out, you ask them for their last name. Oh, we don't give that out. They won't even give you their employee identification number, which is not necessarily private. They can give it to you. They just don't want to be held responsible for their goofiness. But yeah, they know how important information is. Another thing, last night I was driving home from New Jersey Airport. I was stopped twice, once by a Pennsylvania state trooper. Then within the next 10 minutes, a local cop stopped me. God damn. The hell did you do, George? You must be on that radar. But you can take your license, turn it into a bill of credit, acknowledge and endorse it back for liquidation with an amendment and contract SF30, individual surety, SF1414, and the performance. That's technical as hell. Yes, you could do that too, I suppose. There's different ways to do it. You can attack it with the equity way, or you can attack it from the Constitution way. Basically, there's two different ways you can attack these actions. I personally prefer the Constitution because that's what they took an oath to, and they can't deny it. But yes, it 100% is civil in nature and does have fees and fines and bonds and all this other stuff attached to it. Yes, but my only issue with that is proving it is really difficult. They said reason was the registration expired. I told them, look at my front license plate. It says the trust name, which my car is in. Both stops says, have a good day, sir. Maybe it's the universe testing you, man. You might be getting tested. Victor Von Doom. The consultant was actually on here earlier, man. You must have got here late because he was on here about like 30 minutes ago when we were a little past the hour. Bond and the payment bond sent to the state treasurer. I'm just starting to do it. Fire. All right. So yeah, their whole thing about traveling though is the public. They think the public roads belongs to them, and they think anybody that moves on the public roads at all has to go through them, and that's just not the case. That is not the case. There's plenty of Supreme Court cases that rule the right to travel is a constitutionally protected right. It's specifically not mentioned in the Constitution, but it also says, I believe, the Ninth Amendment, the rights that are not enumerated in this Constitution or restricted by it shall be, I think, or it does not restrict those rights or powers to the state or to the people or something like that. To something of the gist of that nature. All right. All right, let's move on, shall we? Let's get on here. All right. Louisiana woman accused of refusing to return 1.2 million after bank error. Say what? Hey, let's take a look. Take a listen.
Do if you checked your bank account and suddenly found out you were a millionaire. That happened to a former Louisiana sheriff's dispatcher, and instead of notifying the bank, well, she quickly moved the cash into another account, used it to buy a home and an SUV. Kellen Spadoni, who you see here, was arrested for theft, and tonight is facing a lawsuit from Charles Schwab after she ignored several of their attempts, they say, to contact her and get the money back. Night court is now in session with civil rights attorney Robert Patillo and criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. Welcome to you both.
Thanks, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Let's start here with Exhibit A. On February 23rd, Schwab meant to transfer $82.56 into a Fidelity brokerage account, services account, but the company instead transferred $1,205,619, court records said. So, Robert, is their mistake?
Is their mistake, but that does not mean you have a legal right to that amount of money. Even best case scenario, if you were able to keep it, good luck explaining to the IRS where $1.2 million came from and paying the taxes on that. This is no different than finding someone's wallet and deciding to keep it when they ask for it back. Or if a Brinks truck accidentally dropped money off at your door, it does not mean that you are legally entitled to it. There's legal precedents on it where people back in the old days would cash those publishers clearinghouse checks that came to your house, and occasionally bank to allow the transaction to go through. But then later on, when they figured out the funds were not there, they would reverse it. So though I understand that most people don't have sympathy for big banks in situations like this, you don't have a legal right to it, and you're going to end up getting in more trouble than it's worth.
It sounds like she is right now, innocent until proven guilty, but facing a lot of charges. Exhibit B, then, we go to. The company argues in its lawsuit that Spadoni's account contract with Schwab, now this came from the Charles Schwab account, includes an agreement that if a client receives an overpayment of funds, the client is required to return the full amount. Brian.
Well, Shannon, first thing I'm going to do in the morning, I'm running over to Charles Schwab. I'm setting up my account there, and then fingers crossed, I get $1 million. Anyway, all kidding aside, last time I checked, we have a criminal court of law, not a moral court of law. And morally, this woman is incorrect, and she should do the right thing and transfer the money back. But the law is on her side, believe it or not. And I think it's going to trump that agreement that she signed, that she probably didn't even know what she signed, probably didn't even know what she read. But real quick, theft, felony theft is the charge. That means that this woman had to deprive money of someone else without their consent. Charles Schwab sent her the money, so that charge is going to get dropped. The last charge against her is bank wire fraud. Again, she has to show an intent to deprive Charles Schwab of money. Last time I checked, Charles Schwab made a mistake and sent the money to her. So in the real world, she might walk free and she might have $1.2 million. And she might have a wrongful termination case against the sheriff's department for firing her. They shouldn't have done that.
Well, she's got a world of trouble to fight her way out of now.
All right. So Shorty said, "Oh, we lit." She made a quick purchase. She went and got herself some land, which I can't be mad because look, how many people do we know that would go spend it on stupid ass shit like a bunch of chains, a bunch of jewelry, iced out, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of shit that ain't worth nothing after you get it. She went and bought some land and bought an automobile. You know what I'm saying, or a vehicle, whatever. She went and did that with the money. So she did something wise with it. Now again, how's she gonna get hit with wire fraud when she ain't had nothing to do with that shit? Like they put that shit there. You know what I'm saying? How's she gonna get hit with what is it? Fraud. Like, yo, how's it fraud? You put the money there. I didn't conspire to do this. I checked my account and it was there, so I started spending it. Oh, well, you didn't know. Last time you checked, did you see $1 million? Listen, okay, if you found $100 on the goddamn ground, are you gonna bend over to pick the damn shit up, or you start looking at whose money it is first? You know what I'm saying? Nah, you're gonna pick it up first. That type thing, But again, she's gonna have to return the money 100%. She's gonna have to return it because you know how the banks play. But here's the crazy thing about it, though. It is technically a debt because she had an account, so it technically is a debt. And you know, according to how some of the things go with the bank and the Uniform Commercial Code, and a well-placed negotiable instrument should be able to take care of that problem. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a debt, right? Is it not a debt? That's not really theft. Is it really theft? Again, she didn't take it from shit. It was put there. How y'all moving? If that was you guys, theoretically, how would you guys move? If you pay taxes on it, the IRS don't care. Right. How about that? It's a certain way you got to move, I suppose. What does that mean? PTTG. What's that mean? Or what's up, good? They need to do an audit on the account. You mean the law and morality are not necessarily in sync? How about that? You bought a Range Rover, right? Hedonism. You know, she bought a house, and you know what's crazy? With how high stuff is, a house and a damn Range Rover probably ate up the whole mill with taxes and all that stuff. Because you know she didn't have her stuff right. She probably, you know, that whole entire joint, she probably just spent all of it. Like, look, now I got a house paid for and I got a car paid for. I'm good. The main thing she probably was struggling with was car payments and a mortgage payment. Listen, Range Rovers are garbage. Yeah, Range Rovers are trash. Don't buy no damn Range Rover. You'll be spending money on fixing that thing every 5 minutes. Her account investment choices shot through the roof. She cashed out. I mean, how about that, right? Reserve notes. They said done deal. I mean, look, she gave him the security to open the account. She gave him the security, the social security number. You know, she put that on the form. That's a form of security. So at the end of the day, her investment, you know, what can I listen? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Buying gold. That's another really good one too, man. Go get yourself some kilos of gold. That's another good one, man. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you something. You got a kilo, you better have somewhere to put it though. Because for that kind of money, somebody will slap you in the head and take that damn gold. You better believe it. Somebody will run up in your house and take that gold and won't think twice about it. That's not theft, and I would 1099. Hey, my man said 1099 is okay. Give me 10% for returning. They're not gonna give her nothing for returning it 100%. They ain't gonna give her jack spit. Land in gold. Yeah. One of those underground bunkers, right? With some gold. Only thing about those underground bunkers is they got people when the billionaires were starting to build underground bunkers. You should have saw the chat in the comments. People were starting to talk about how to get them out of the bunkers. They say, yo, all of these bunkers have that little spout that comes out so they can breathe. All we gotta do is close the spout and wait at the entrance for machine guns. I say, yo, chill. Y'all are wild, man. It's like, all we gotta do is throw a tear gas down the little pipe or whatever, the exhaust pipe, and just wait for them at the entrance and tear the firm off of them as they come outside. I say, y'all some wild boys, man. Y'all crazy. Hilarious. Make a 1.2 million charitable donation to my nonprofit. Hey. Hey. Hey, what can I say, man? Finder's fee. Bankers acceptance. Y'all getting busy. Negotiable instrument. Y'all getting busy out here. You know, so it's a debt technically. You know, if they saying she owe it, it's a debt. So send me the bill. Send me a quote unquote bill, right? The American State National Assembly has a global family group that can access our credit. Yo, you know what's crazy? Phyllis Floyd is lighting y'all. Y'all need to go respond to Phyllis Floyd before we talk about any more American State National business on this channel. Because Phyllis Floyd is dragging y'all, man. And I don't mess with the assembly myself personally. I got nothing personally against you guys, but I just was always weary about being in groups. You know what I'm saying? But Phyllis Floyd is lighting y'all up, so y'all need to go straighten that out. because he's tearing the fur off of y'all and Anavar rights. He done put out like 4 videos getting on y'all in the last a week. If you want a solid ride, those new Ford Explorers are safe as you can get. They look nice. They're the police officer joints. They do look nice though. My man said the Swiss joint. Ah. Rat-a-tat-tat-tooey. And they will ask if the mountains will, and they will ask the mountains to fall on them. Word. Send them a gift. Y'all going off in these comments. But yeah, man, she said she jumped in her account and she was $1 million richer. Okay. All right, what video is this here?
Now arguing about this new TikTok bill, restrict bill 686. You guys need to take some time and read it. Do you actually think it's about TikTok, your safety, your security? That bill gives the government the ability to download all data from recording devices and databases. So that means your Ring doorbell system, cameras inside of your home, your cell phone, your Amazon Echoes, anything and everything. And then they'll use that data against you. We're pushing this bill because they realize that they can't hide their treasonous acts anymore. They want to know what you're saying, what you're doing. This bill gives the government the ability to legally spy on you and then utilize that information against you. You better wake up.
All right, so a lot of people are talking about the TikTok bill. Me personally, I don't mess with TikTok, but you know, anytime they pass one of these bills, the bill is usually like 600 to 700 pages long, and yeah, it's one of them situations where, you know, there's all kinds of hidden nooks and crannies inside these bills that get passed, and you got these dumbass politicians that just sign a damn bill because they basically took money from this company, you know, that pushed in this policy, and they want to stuff a whole bunch of nonsense in the joint, and they got to drop the autograph because they, you know, as part of their campaign promise to take money from said company, they have to sign it. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. With that whole entire thing right there, I told people from the rip I don't mess with TikTok because one, your information basically is basically all over the place with that joint. We already had a whole bunch of data breaches. We just had about 20 last year. You know what I'm saying? Last year was a lot of, and then the year before that was more than that, I believe. You know, so TikTok is one of those things where I don't necessarily mess with it. Now, as far as you know, your information being available and stuff, it literally says right on that joint on TikTok, you know, your information will be shared. They don't hide it. People just don't freaking read, you know. So the TikTok bill, you know, listen, the government's already had access to your devices. You should not be, in my opinion, having any wireless cameras, Ring doorbell. I don't like that stuff. Because hackers can easily break in your stuff and see how the inside of your house, all around your house looks. You know what I'm saying? How to get in and all that stuff. Hackers can literally do that. So that never sat well with me. You know what I mean? If anything, I like the way Wolf's system is set up in his house. He has what's called the closed loop circuit. So he's got like pictures and stuff in his front yard and side yard and the front of his door and all that. But I believe it's closed loop. I don't think it's internet. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be the smartest way for me to keep your stuff private and still monitor your house. Now, the thing about it is when you're not home, yeah, you can't look and see what's going on, but guess what? Neither can hackers. If you just got a closed circuit, like a CCTV type thing, closed circuit, you can literally just see everything that's going on inside your house, and you're in the house with monitors and stuff like that. It's like the old school systems that, you know, museums and stuff used to have when they have security. They got this one room, a control room, where they watch all the monitors and stuff like that. So I don't like Ring bells or any of that crap. It never sat well with me. If you're not free to be a TikTok watching idiot, then you're not free. I don't mess with TikTok, man. I don't like it. Fearless Floyd in the house. The Fearless Floyd show on YouTube and others. Fearless Floyd said, if y'all want that smoke, y'all need to go through him. And listen, I done heard some stuff about the state national, so I'm gonna stay as far away from y'all as I can. No disrespect, but Again, that's why I don't like groups. That's exactly why I don't like groups, man. Yeah, they say, oh, we're going to be more powerful together than we would be separate. Here's the problem with that. People do stupid shit, man. People do stupid shit. That's my problem with the groups. Yeah, the quick dumbed down version of that bill is they are going to stop it from being used on government devices and take it off of Google and app stores, but you can still use it if you want. I'm good, man. I don't need that shit. There's a doorway for all of the social media, according to what I read online. I didn't even read the bill. I got Ring, but I never installed it for that reason. Yeah, smart. I tell my peoples, I said, yo, I mean, that thing is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's all good and dandy, but the problem is gonna lie with like, yo, somebody can literally hack into your system and just like, be all up in your house when you're not home and all that. That's crazy to me. Yes, indeed. All right, so I think that's gonna be it. Yeah, we covered all this other stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be it. All right, I think we can wrap it up for the night, man. We ran way over, man. I usually don't even go this long anymore. Back this we had one of them old school shows today, back when I used to go 2.5, 3 hours. I think one time we even did a 4 hour show. I think I was off the next day. Me, Wolf, and a few other people was just chopping up game for like 4 hours. But yeah. So we out here getting busy. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate you watching. Um, we'll be live and direct on Patreon Tuesday. Don't forget to hop on the Patreon, jump on there, subscribe on that, drop the 5 every month. You're not even gonna feel it, I promise you. But the information you'll get is gonna definitely be enlightening. Remember, y'all need to start fasting. Start cutting crap out of your diet. You know what I mean? If you haven't already, get rid of all shellfish, get rid of your beef, your chickens, get rid of all of that stuff. Get down to your fruits, get down to your vegetables, get your water game on, throw some lime in the water, some lemon in the water, get that bad boy alkalinized. You know what I'm saying? Juice up as much as you can. Get your meditate on, go for a jog, do 20 push-ups before bed, whatever. Just do whatever you can to try to get yourself in shape, because when this thing happens with the whole entire eclipse, the download is going to be what changes our DNA, and it's going to raise our consciousness, which raises the way we think and the way we react and how fast we're able to comprehend information. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be good for us. So thank you guys for tuning in. It is A64 National Born Natural. Great conversation. And remember, the path to freedom is through our bravery. And don't forget, we will be live and direct, live in effect, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week. Take it easy. Peace.